Welcome to Chasing the Beats, a show dedicated to weeklybeats.com artists, their songs, and stories from the 2024 season. I'm your host, SQF, and our guest today is Ryo. All right, we've got Ryo on the show today. Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon or good morning.
Yes, both things are true.
Or us, the two of us.
So at last we meet.
Yes.
I know I kept pushing this off because we were going to do like a collab song that I could not get my act together to do.
Yeah, I was like one of the first to actually sign up for this, and
Yes,
just didn't happen.
yes, but it's happening now.
It is happening now.
And you went the extra mile and did a remix of one of my songs that we're gonna play the episode out with, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you did an awesome job. Really cool to hear my stuff mixed with yours. So excited for everyone else
how
to
we
hear
do
that.
collabs this year. Just we take a song from someone else some other week, just put some stuff on it.
Yeah,
because 1 week is not really enough time to make a collab.
Yeah, it's true. It's
That
true.
said, you are yourself making a podcast every week, so you are sort of making a weekly beat this year as well.
That's why, like, with everything else going on in my life, I was like,
we could put a beat under this, and it
we can. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, a little filter over it,
some bird noises. So yeah, I've been busy doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have some ideas for how this can go on during weekly beats that will still allow me to make music. So we'll see about that.
It's all about shortcuts.
That's right. That's right. And you do mention a lot of different like process things in your descriptions, even in the songs that we picked today. So I kind of want to get into that. But first, I wanted to thank you for being literally everywhere in everyone's comments.
Not yet.
Because we talk a lot about how awesome this community is and the feedback people receive. And even if it's just a comment of like, hey, listen to it, you are everywhere. And you are, I would say, pillar of the community because I don't know how you do it, but you comment on so many songs every week. So thank you for being like a huge part of the community and doing that.
You're welcome. Although it is a little trickier this year because there have been so many more people. Like the previous round, it was it was a little less people. So, but then Nate came into the scene and suddenly it was like consistently around 200.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we're still working on the backlog.
So you're still actively commenting on stuff?
Actively commenting on stuff, yes.
Oh my God. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
And like I said, that's a huge part of the value of weekly beats. And so I noticed it, and even when I went around commenting, trying to hit as many people as possible, you're always there before me.
Yeah. Not always though, but like if you post your song on the release day, then I'll leave a comment.
Yeah.
And if I like your song, I'll leave a comment. Well, not every song gets a comment.
Yeah.
That's a myth.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, I would say you like a lot of songs.
I have a lot of tastes, which is also a thing. Different personalities have different tastes.
True. So, kind of how I start all of these was this your first weekly beats?
No, it was not. My first
What
one was
number is this for you?
I started in 2012, so it was, however number it is now.
Wow. That's a lot of music.
Yeah. The first one we just started at like 9 weeks before the end.
Oh, okay,
It was
okay.
fine. And then
Still.
2013 was monthly beats,
Mhm. So you do
and
the monthly beats on off years, not every year?
not even every off year. I think only 2013 and this year.
Got it.
So I'm gonna use the outro song as my monthly beats.
Awesome,
It's a song
awesome.
I made this month.
Nice.
If
It's
the
true.
site's working,
It's true.
site's a little janky.
Anything in particular this year that you, um, learned or,
Guitar.
guitar? I was gonna ask about guitar because you kind of alluded to in some of the descriptions, like, you were new to guitar.
Yeah,
So, is that a, like, intentional thing of, like, I'm gonna learn guitar and,
I
like,
just
use it
love the
on.
sound of the electric guitar. What can I
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
The 2014, I did the ukulele, so it's not not too foreign.
Mhm.
Yeah, but just love the sound of chip metal.
Yeah. Uh, what kind of guitar do you have?
It is an well, it says it's an Encore, but I couldn't find the model anywhere on the internet, so I
Got
guess
it.
it's just a Frankenstein thing.
And do you have an amp or you do all, like,
I do have an
direct?
amp. It's the I thought I had it written down. Dark Star uh, Core 10 ID Core 10 V3.
Nice. It sounds great.
It's pretty convenient. It's not too big. It's pretty lightweight. It connects straight to my computer, so I can just record right
Oh,
out.
okay. So it's got its own, like, direct out. So
Yeah,
you don't have to, like, mic it up and all that.
no, it just goes straight
Sweet.
from USB.
And then what synths do you use?
I don't. It's just all LMMS for the most part.
It's all what? I'm not familiar.
LMMS is the DAW,
Oh, okay.
the free
I'm
one.
unfamiliar with that doll. I'm not a doll guy,
Like
so
in the list of all the free DAWs, LMMS is definitely up there. It's always lacking because it's missing the input things.
got it.
Like it has MIDI input, but you can't record like actual music with it. So it's definitely one of the bigger flaws.
So it's got MIDI in, but you can't record audio?
Yes, so you can't like use a microphone for it or something.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So but you can still record your guitar?
I use Audacity for that,
Oh, okay. So
and sometimes we use Reaper. Most of the stuff
got
he
it.
does, and yeah, Reaper
So it's
will
really
do
like
that.
a MIDI DAW.
It's well, it's a full DAW. It's like for the FL, but it
Mhm.
just misses that one thing.
Got it. It
It
seems
has a
like an
bunch of
important
nice
thing.
plugins though,
Okay.
like VST support and some pretty hefty chiptune based things
Mm,
since.
okay. I would say that one of your signature sounds is the bird sound.
Yes, the birds. I think
I
they
I
were
have always wanted to know how that came about, how you make it, and what inspired you to, as they said on Portlandia, put a bird on it.
it's been a while since it was added. I think it was in 2020 when it was first like programmed into the generator. Just tweaking the sounds and then putting the parameters into the generator itself. And then just have it always be there. People really liked it, and I see no reason to not have it. So it just stayed.
But it doesn't sound like the same exact bird sound every time.
It is, but the sequence of notes are different. So
Okay,
it's like a lot of notes really fast.
got it.
So it just
Yeah,
sounds.
what inspired you to, like, create that sound?
I don't think I can recall that. I would need to look through the descriptions from previous years to find it. In which
You were
case,
just, like,
it
messing
would be.
around with sound design and
I
we're
guess
like,
so. Yeah. Maybe it was just fun.
Yeah.
Maybe it just needed a hook or a sting or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, I love it, and it's definitely like, oh, I know that I'm listening to one of your songs when I hear the bird.
There they are. Yeah, that's the signature. And there's no
Yeah,
need to
what
do
other
anything.
kinda sound design stuff do you like to do?
Um, I don't really do a lot of it anymore. Just like working with like the the plugins that are there, but they're pretty solid and robust, and they're all additive, so it's very simple.
Mhm.
Just turn some dials, and now it's a better sound, I guess.
Yeah, so you've got kind of like a catalog now of sounds built up.
Well, not even that. Just very simple stuff. Also,
Yeah.
reverb. I love reverb. All my
Yes.
songs have reverb.
Tasty reverb.
Mhm.
Uh,
There's also the very simple reverb. Like it's it's just a default reverb, just there. It's very
mhm.
noticeable if it isn't there,
Yeah.
but you probably
It
can't
adds a
tell
lot of
what
depth.
is there. Yeah, it's just the default reverb is always so good. You
And
don't
you
need
do a
to.
lot of chiptune based sounds.
Yeah, so it's just the transform the waveform. So it's not
Got it.
much to it.
You make it sound so easy.
It is.
I feel like anytime that I'm, like, consciously trying to build chiptune sounds, I don't think that I capture it.
Well, it all starts with the square wave. That's always a good start. You
Yeah.
can modulate the width, which is very easy, of course.
Mhm.
And if you want a specific sound, that's different because the NES sounds a little different from like the Sega. They all have different and different square wave, but no one really cares. It's just it's just a chip sound.
Yeah. What other sort of, like, process, workflow things did you discover this year?
Mm, not much. It was roughly the same as last time because it's a procedural generator. It's just a little Python script that just makes the entire LMS file for me.
Oh, really?
Yes, I just run it and I have a project ready. It's
Holy
got
shit.
it's got structures, it's got melodies, it's got a harmony in it and a bass.
Wow. So you have kind of built this file or this program essentially
Mhm.
that spits out some, like, random progressions and melodies and stuff?
Yep. Though
Wow.
it has been a bit dumbed down a bit because it used to do different genres as well. And I guess next time I'll fix that.
Got it. And
See if
this
I
is
can.
a program you wrote yourself?
Yes,
And
by
this is
hand from scratch.
why, on one of the songs you wrote, there's a formula, LXYZ,
No,
and then
that's a
it's
different
followed.
thing
Oh, okay.
because
Alright.
we don't just do the whole thing like generated. We do put manual effort in. Especially these days, it's going to be more important because anything that is actually computer generated is not copyrightable
Right.
because AI. It has
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be man-made. So we do put effort into it, and this is just one of those things we put in, which is a specific progression.
Got it.
It's a formula for a progression.
So it'll come up with a progression and some melodies, and you use that as a starting point.
Yes.
Got it. And then you add guitar and maybe
Hmm.
change up the melody, and
Yes.
what other parts do you add, like, that human element to?
Mm, the sound design because it makes uh, plugins with parameters within certain ranges, but they still require some tweaking.
Mhm.
Sometimes
Mhm.
it could use a little tweak to make it sound a little better.
So I would call that more of like an inspiration program.
You can use it as that,
Yeah,
though the
like
vast majority of things are still going to be there.
mhm. So a lot of that's how you come up with the structure.
Yes. Well, the structure still has to be like put in the code itself. So it's just all simple metal, which is just intro, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, verse, chorus, verse, outro,
Okay.
which is very simple to do, and it creates a nice structure and good flow and good for your variety too over the song.
Got it.
You don't have to repeat the same four chord progression over and over again.
I definitely struggle with when to use structure
I
and when
noticed.
to abandon it.
Yes, I went through your music, your songs to make like the outro for this, and
What did you notice?
the harmony section of your band is not going to be very heavy. You have the same four chords going through the entire song, and just
Yeah,
put
yeah,
things over it.
yeah, yeah. I That's one thing that I want to work on is some more advanced progressions and variety.
No, no, you can with, I guess, this generator.
Yeah, is this generator publicly available?
Yes, it's linked on my profile. It's
Oh,
basically open source,
okay.
and it has exactly one or two dependencies, I guess, and that's that you have Python, and the output has to be open in LMS.
All right. Well, I have Python. I
Well,
will get LMS.
you can try it then.
And then looking through some of your other or your descriptions, uh, there's another formula you mentioned or system, I guess. This is how we make a chorus now system.
I think that's the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know
It's
which
the
one.
same generator. That was on Rough Power.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's the same one
Okay.
because there was one week where I just found it and we just kept doing it.
Got it.
It's another shortcut.
Yeah.
You find something that
Well,
works, you just keep using it.
mhm. I mean, you've obviously honed a system over many years to, like I'm still trying to figure out, and hone to just like crank out music every week.
Oh, you'll find
So,
something.
did you give yourself any particular challenges this past year?
Just the guitar. There's the chip metal,
Mhm.
and there was a few. Like the first half, we didn't use the generator at all, or as little as possible.
Okay.
And you can notice that because a lot of the songs are just very different, and sonically they're
Mhm.
very structured.
The ones in the later half of the year were very structured.
Yes, they were with the generator, and
Yeah.
you have that structure.
Did you not use the generator the first half of the year as kind of like a different challenge, or you
Yeah,
hadn't
that's
made
just
the
a
generator?
challenge, and
Yeah.
also because after that a certain time we had a specific guitar tuning to like make it very easy for us. And if we wanted to do something else, then we'd have to like turn it back to a regular tuning. But
Got it.
it's not.
And you refer to us a lot,
Hmm.
and you mention songs by different people
Yes.
in, across the weeks. What is that like to create from these like different vantage points?
Mm, well, it's something you have to work through if you want to make it to the end. So you just put your own spin into it as best you can, and hope it comes out all right in the end.
Yeah. Do you
It's,
feel like there are, it's interesting to think about viewing creations from one personality viewpoint created by other personalities. Do you feel like that's almost like viewing other people's music, or is it more connected?
we are fully aware that this is what our body has been making, and so we're just introducing continuity into it. Just follow the steps. Same procedure,
Same procedure.
same process. You it usually gets like a good result.
And is one personality ever surprised by what another personality creates?
Probably we don't really listen back to it as much because there's plenty of other music we have to comment on. So
That's
we
very
can
true.
really listen to it. We do listen to it when we reply to comments on our songs, so we know what they're listening to, and then we can be like, "Yeah, this was a good song. He did
Yeah.
well, or she did well, or it did well."
Yeah.
So we are kind of surprised sometimes. Yes.
That's cool. Yeah, I love when uh people would ask me last year like, "Oh, what kind of music are you listening to these days?" Or like, "Do you have any new artists?" And I'm like, "I
Um,
listen to nothing but weekly beats."
yeah, it's more than that. It's like when someone brings up an artist from outside of Weekly Beats, I'm like, "Are they a Weekly Beats? Because I've never heard of them before."
True. Yeah, I'm like, I got a lot of commenting and listening to do, and yeah,
Yeah,
these other big artists, they don't see my comments.
no.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool to like things are connected, but you can still kind of, surprise yourself in a way by like what someone else in your own body has created.
hmm It's a collaboration, more or less.
Yeah,
Although I'm guessing that if you were to listen back to your music, you would be surprised as well.
it's true. It's true. But it's just not as, I guess, compartmentalized as like you probably find it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And we definitely have some different processes. Like Valks really likes putting a saturator on the bass.
Mm.
Don't know if you can really tell, but it's
Can you go through kind of the different your different selves and tell us kind of the I guess the signature move of each one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We're just taking a week as it comes.
Okay. So there's not one like, oh, I'm like you said, Valks is
The
likes to put a
saturator.
saturator on the bass, but it's not always as like cut and dry.
Sure, there are some things, but I don't think I can recall them myself.
Got it. You got to be like in that body per se and working as that person.
More or less,
Cool. Very
you get a
cool.
certain flow, a state of
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Then you do procedures in your way.
Very cool. Should we start listening to some music?
I guess got a few more talking points, but
Oh,
other than
let's
that,
hear them. I'm all about it.
well, something for you for next time might be dice, dice
Tell me more.
chords,
Dice
uh,
chords?
chord dice. In the song
Oh,
Chuva,
like some literal dice to come up with like a chord progression
yes. So in the song Chuva, there's a whole description about how that works.
in song 2.
Chuva, it's number 10, week 10. Maybe that can help.
Oh, Chuva. All
Mhm.
right. It's one of the few that don't have power in the description.
Yes, because the name was also randomly generated with dice.
Nice. All of my songs are randomly generated by the M8.
Yours are like taken from the dictionary, I believe, right?
I just hit the random
Yeah,
song
so I guess I'd have
generator.
to ask Tim how that works, but I'm thinking it's just randomly taken from dictionary.
Yeah, it it could be a little bit more robust, maybe with larger dictionary, because I definitely have to like random through a bunch of them until I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that one.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it. You can also look at our previous years, and think 2020, and so where the names were like mostly entirely randomly generated, and Most of those words are not words. Like you can pronounce them, but they are not words that mean anything.
So you're literally just like rolling a dice and
Only
picking
for that one
letters.
song. The generator itself has a word generator in it.
Oh, okay.
It's in there. Just makes syllables out of consonants and vowels. Just puts them together.
Cool. What other talking points did you have in mind?
So many. MP3 tagging. A lot of people don't tag their MP3s, and it's I don't
Oh,
know what happened.
yes. I believe it was cursory when I downloaded his files. They had album artwork, like
Me too.
titles, art, like
Yeah.
all the information. And I
Yes.
was like, I need to do that.
Yeah. I think we've been doing that since the beginning. And we're doing it now as well in the monthly beats, but we're doing it with like a different program. Like
What program do you
it's
use?
now just a Python script that does it from scratch. You just
Okay.
have to type in whoever wrote it, and when it does, it'll just have like all the information: cover art, year, title, album, composer, and the actual artist who worked on it.
That's definitely the thing I need to work on.
Yeah, I think there's been a few of those scripts around. So
Yeah.
pretty easy to do.
What else?
Ooh, weekly meets. Have you ever been to one?
Yes. I
Last
joined
one?
them earlier in the year,
And then you dropped off just like everyone else.
and then I dropped off like everyone else.
Hmm.
I find it hard to meet uh like at the drop time during the summer months
Yes.
because it's like I try to be like outside in the sunlight around like 5 p.m.
Well, it's even worse for us, because it's 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah, that's you're definitely inside, but tired.
It's very dark. Yes. We're very tired. It was like the last one of the year, with all the songs that we were playing. That was fun.
Yeah, I was on that one. That
Mm.
one was fun.
We were DJing.
Yeah.
We made a pretty decent set, just out of thin air.
Yeah,
So
it
people
came
submitted songs
together.
and you just played them.
Yeah, it came together wonderfully.
Except for the last song. It was 4 a.m. and I had to pick something, so I had to take level capybara. Because, you know, this music is just perfect for that.
It's true. It's true. Love level capybara.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Uh, what other weekly beats knowledge can you drop on me?
Oh, so many. I don't think 1 week is going to be enough for that. We need several episodes for that.
I love it though. I mean,
Mm,
you had a wealth of experience.
I should hope
Uh,
so. It's been since 2012, so
it's been since 2012.
you meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like one thing was like in 2012, there was a lot less effort put into it. And that brings sort of hominess. It's like some people were just making a field recording of themselves in the same room as the first recorder, just playing an instrument. And it
Mm,
sounded very cozy. I don't really get that anymore.
got it. So you kind of miss the the more of the like experimental, homegrown, less polished kind of take on it.
I don't know. Like some things come and go, and there were always overproducers. Philharmonic was always there. Um, there was some people like Tiasu, and QB was there for a few weeks. They're all amazing artists. They made amazing songs. They never showed up. That's okay.
Mhm.
New year, new people. They make also some great music.
Yeah. What else do you miss about the early days of Weekly Beats?
The time it took to comment on everything.
True.
For sure.
Because like how many people were doing Weekly Beats in like 2014?
Well, there's a graph that shows how many people were there. I couldn't look it up for you, but maybe we can link that somewhere else.
Yeah, but it was not 300-400 people.
No, definitely not. Like, I think the first year at the end, there was about 30 people left.
Wow,
Hmm.
that is a major difference.
Yeah, I also remember, like, in one year, there was one person who joined at the last week. That was kind of sad, but it happened more often recently because there's so many more people now, and the
Well,
project
I
is
think
just catching on.
people don't understand the on and off year, and they like start at the very end thinking that, oh, I'm
To
just going to
catch up.
continue through the year, and then it's like, no, now it's monthly beats.
Well, now it's just an off year, and you want to take that break
Yeah.
because creative juices will just run out.
Mm-hmm.
We can't all be 1-0.
No. Or
Although I
Ked
think he's
break.
got like a very good system.
Do you know much about his system?
Well, I noticed that all of his songs are very similar. So whatever system it is, it's working well for him. It's like
It's a,
a bass or a bass sounding guitar and putting some chords over it, maybe.
yeah. You make making music sound so simple. You
Sometimes it
just
just is. You don't have to overthink it.
that is true. I mean, I think it's easy to overthink things and over criticize what you're making, and
Sometimes you just have to let it go.
yeah.
Sometimes it just works. And, if you have something from last week that you didn't think worked, you can always just keep it.
Mhm.
It's a sketch now, not something for a different week. We did
Yeah.
that. We had like 8 sketches at one point, and we just put them in one song. And I think that one song is now one of mine that I picked.
Nice.
Power Doodle.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
I like Power Doodle.
Yeah.
Alright, what other talking points do you have for me?
Um. Oh yes. So you know how you're like the M8, and how this podcast is like whenever the guest isn't like another M8 person, it's just only M8.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little much.
I mean, it's just how it goes. I don't think I could get into the workflow because trackers are just not my thing. But
Yeah.
sometimes I do have to get out. So there is an option for people like me then, which is on the Nintendo Switch. It's called Korg Gadget.
Chord Gadget
Yes.
on the Switch.
KORG, like the brand. And then Gadget, the same one as on iPad.
Oh, Korg
Yes.
Gadget.
Hmm.
Interesting. So, what do you like about the Korg Gadget that makes that more attractive than the tracker workflow?
Piano rolls.
Piano rolls.
Very simple. Just the piano rolls. It's just a DAW. Like you could just make chords like you can with any other DAW.
Yes, chords are a bit difficult on the M8.
I know, because I have another tracker that also uses a piano roll, but on phone. It's called Fami Studio. And it's just I make my ringtones with it. It sounds cool. It's
Ringtones.
all the chip tone, all the chip tune chips, and it's basically a tracker, but it uses a piano roll, but you can't make chords with it because it's a tracker. So
Mhm. So do you find the episodes where we have an M8 fest annoying?
mm, I mean, it's a loaded question, isn't it? Because it's from what I hear, it's a wonderful device, and it
Yeah.
sounds like it's a wonderful device. I just probably can't use it until it
Mhm.
becomes piano roll based DAW.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it was a workflow that I didn't think that I would enjoy, but I think the portability kind of wins out over some of the,
DAWs,
like,
the bigger ones. Well, that's not
yeah,
really an
like,
excuse anymore now, is it?
for what?
for portability is not really an excuse anymore because the Nintendo Switch is one of the most portable dolls ever.
True. I've never tried that one, but
No, I can't imagine. A
maybe
lot of people probably
maybe it'll
can't.
make me throw my M8 out the window. I don't know.
I doubt it, but like it's a good workflow, but it's not as strong, I guess, and you can't exactly record music out of it very easily. Like, you
Yeah.
need to actually plug it into a computer through like the cable, like the audio jack.
Doesn't output stems.
Yeah, I mean you can just mute entire things to make stems, but
Yeah.
I mean, do you
I'm
really need to though? You can just mix it in the DAW.
yeah.
Like it's got effects, sort of. It's got the one effect that really matters.
Reverb.
Exactly. I mean, do you need anything else?
I'm liking your talking points.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Well, I got here about collabs. Like I made 4 collabs in this year. You
Yeah.
picked none of them, which is surprising.
I almost picked because you definitely had several
I
collabs.
had Power Waiting Room. I had Violet Power, Fading Power, and Power United, which was actually the second Power United because I already had a song like that, so I had to rename that one.
So I'm always distraught on picking
Collabs?
collab
Yes, I
works.
was hesitant too because it's not really my work per se. It's not really our work. It's based on someone else's work or with someone else's work.
Yeah. And I think picking a collab, like I like that you took one of my songs and
Well, it was
did
specifically for the outro because you didn't want to make anything, like you wouldn't even make a single bar. So I just like, well, you have an entire year of music, so I guess I can just take one of those, whatever.
yeah.
And
But when it
this is a collab because we are doing more or less a weekly beats collab right now
it was
with
a
you with your
one-sided collab,
podcast.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how we do collabs. Except for like the Power United one, that was the last week one because there were like a bunch of people who worked together.
Right.
You know the one.
Yeah.
There's like 4 people who made completely different songs with all those materials. So
Yeah. Which I love what everyone made with that.
yeah, it's such a great collab. It's
Such a
like,
great ending to the year.
they were so amazing.
But yeah, I'm always conflicted picking a collab as like a showcase of works because I mean, there's just so many songs and it feels like picking songs that you created
Makes sense.
just you.
Yeah, that showcases more of my abilities with
Yeah,
making
and
music.
like the range of works.
Although I will add, there is skill and capabilities involved in making a remix like that. So
There
like,
is.
you need to like know what chords are and stuff. You need to match the tempo.
Yeah.
You need to find the right balance between what's already there and what you add, and
Mhm.
make sure it meshes well. Which
Yeah.
fortunately, a lot of songs can do with an electric guitar and some birds. So
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll have to do a separate series where I get both collab artists and just talk about one collab
oh
song.
yeah, sure. Although Violet Power is probably going to be very tricky because that was a collaboration with someone who only appeared in 2012. So
Mm.
there was Moxie. He made Violet, and it's one of the best songs ever, and you should definitely listen to it.
All right. I'll check it out. Well, should we listen to your songs or do you have some more burning talking points?
Not burning, but we'll get to the simmered ones. This is just chip metal, which is all the songs. So
Cool. Well, we're going to start it out with Birthday Power.
birthday power, yes.
Let's go. All right, that was Birthday Power. One
Yes,
of
this
the best birthday remixes, I think.
yes, this song goes out to all the people who have a birthday this year, which is everyone. Happy birthday, everyone.
Yeah, what made this one of your top 3 picks?
Well, that just one goes out to everyone.
Yeah, just a
Everyone has a birthday.
birthday shout out.
Mhm.
Everyone can
Everyone,
appreciate this.
happy birthday. I mean, it was specifically made for someone, but everyone has a birthday, so I might as well make it for everyone.
Yeah. I do think it's a great birthday remix, and the birds add a lot to it.
Hmm. They're there.
What, I mean, obviously, this was a tribute to someone for their birthday,
Hmm.
but, uh, when I think about making a birthday remix, I think I would maybe be a little scared to remix such a classic.
I mean, as we have learned, the copyright wasn't actually enforceable, so you can just
True.
make it. You should do
Yeah.
it.
And all those restaurants went out of their way to make their own
Hmm.
birthday songs, and they didn't need to.
No,
Yeah.
it was there all along. You could have just done it.
Any other elements about the song that you enjoyed making, or
I think it's one of the few songs where we actually played lead guitar instead of harmony guitar. And it is nice, but it is very much a step up.
lead guitar versus rhythm?
Harmony, yes,
Yeah.
because we have a special tuning, which is just I think it was mm, GD, no, DGD.
How did you come up with that tuning?
I just want to make power chords. I didn't really want to surround it with anything between, so I just bar it, and it's a different chord. It's just all power
Awesome.
chords all the way.
Yeah. Hence the power.
Hence the power. Yeah, it's all power.
It's all coming together for me now.
It's almost as if it was planned.
Cuz I when I was going through your songs, like you come listen to a song every week, and I don't pay a ton of attention to titles most of the time cuz
I
I'm
mean, no
just
one does. It's like
listening,
it's another week.
commenting. But when you look at them all in one spot together, I was like, "Whoa, lots of power.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of power."
Mm.
But it makes sense because there's lots of guitar
Yeah,
and
lots of
lots of
guitar.
power chord guitar.
Yes.
God, so much makes sense now. All right, we're gonna keep it rolling with Power Tempest.
Yes.
Alright, that was Power Tempest,
Yes.
and I guess I should be mentioning the artist.
Yes. We are not always just one person. Sometimes it just
Yes.
blends in, and
So the last one was by Ryo,
that's me.
and this one was a collab. This is
I guess
by
it's just by our blended gestalt, I guess you can call it.
Deslrv,
Hmm. Yeah, rolls off the tongue. Does the
DESLRV.
Yeah, it's the letters of our names in the order that they appeared, basically.
Got it. There's a whole origin story just in the name.
Hmm.
Well, this is the one where I mentioned earlier that you kind of have this progression formula,
Hmm.
that
Yes,
you also mention if this doesn't make sense to you,
don't worry about it.
which it doesn't exactly make sense to me, but what I got out of it was like you're being intentional and you have this like laid out, and it's less of a like how I make music is more of like experimental of like I kind of like how these things sound together.
Yeah, I think you are making like you take two chords and hope they sound good. If they sound good, you find a third one. If it connects well with the second one, then yay, and then you keep going. This
Yeah.
is that, but like on a larger scale because this is making 8 chords in one go.
Yeah. Do you
And
think that one way is better than another?
I don't know. I'm using dice sometimes, so you tell
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Dice is
Which I
also
definitely want to try that dice technique
yeah.
because
You just need like the standard set of 7, like the D&D dice, and not
yeah,
even that. You just need the D10 and a D6, I think,
well, it's just another source of
D12 and D8.
inspiration and
Yes,
gets you out of the overthinking.
yeah. It's like I don't need to think about what my chords are. The dice will do that for me,
Yeah.
and I don't. You don't need to care if the two chords sound good together. You just need to make them sound good together,
Mhm.
which can be done in several ways. So
What about Power Tempest made it one of your top 3?
this is the first song that used this algorithm, quote unquote.
Alright.
So it deserves mention, and it's also just good.
This algorithm?
The song
The
is just
song, yeah.
just a good song.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think this formula or process or workflow or whatever does add a lot to it because I really like the chord progressions that you come up with, and they keep you interested.
Yes, and also like the sections, I guess. So it's not
Yeah.
just the same chords over and over.
Yeah, it's not just the same chord progression, but it's yeah, different sections.
Section off. I think this might also be the first week where we had the generator. I'm not entirely sure.
But and
It might
if
have been
it
later.
feels like when I try to use a system like this that I have trouble connecting the sections, you don't seem to have that issue. What's your secret?
Well, first I'm gonna have to ask you: does it sound like to connect well?
I think so.
Because the secret is we don't do anything. We don't do squat. It's just it jumps from one section to the other, and there's no real transition.
So you're saying that I'm overthinking things.
You tell me. Maybe I'm underthinking it, but it's just there's no transition. It
I
just
mean, it
the
works.
section ends and the other one begins.
I think it's how like I think the guitar kind of glues stuff together too.
Yeah, maybe you can have like some sort of ley line, some line going through it, a big red line that helps stick it all together.
Yeah, because it's not like there's still some continuity in sounds from section to section. It's not just like we're going to completely change every element in this section.
Yeah, we're not changing genres.
Yeah.
Unlike with the outro, I think it's might count as different genres, but we'll see. You've heard it, I've heard it.
Yeah. Up to your own interpretation.
Yeah, it just works, I guess.
Anything else about the song that you like are particularly proud of, or
No, like after a while, like you get so streamlined that you don't really think about it, the songs too much.
mm-hmm.
So there's nothing really special about most of those anymore. It's like
Got it.
there's a few that are actual special, like Power Echoes. Like
But that didn't make your cut.
no, it did not. But you should probably listen to it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not much power going on. It's just the guitar is hit exactly twice, and it sounds real good. It's very different though.
So it's a different style of song making.
Yeah, we made a reggae, we made a waltz,
Yeah, I like the reggae.
and a blues, I think, as well, somewhere.
Yeah. You captured the essence of those styles, but made them your own.
Well, as long as you know what the essence is, you can just make whatever you want with it. Like a waltz is like
True.
just it's always 3/4, and it's always emphasis on the second and third beat. And whatever you do with that information is always going to be a waltz sent afterwards. The blues is always the same progression, which is just a blues progression, and the same thing with basically every other genre.
Yeah,
As long as you know what makes it that genre, then you can make whatever you want with it.
it's true. It's true. All right, we're gonna go on to the doodle, the power doodle.
Yeah, the power doodle.
All right,
So
that was power doodle.
power doodle. No generator this time. It was all
No, so this is a no generator song.
no. This was just a bunch of scraps we had left. So we had a bunch of interesting sounding doodles that we made on the guitar, just playing around with it, plucking strings and see what connects, I guess. And then we just had like a folder full of them, and it'd be a waste not to use them. So just put them next together.
Yeah, I I really like the melody that starts out,
That was one of them.
and you mention in the description,
It disappears.
yeah, it disappears.
Yeah, you probably can't tell when it happens, but
Well, it's hard to tell because there's, like, another background melody that has some similar timing and notes, but it's, like, a way lower volume.
Yeah, it was a bit of a puzzle getting the doodles together, but we managed, or she managed specifically.
But then it really builds,
Sure did. That's why we picked
and
it.
this one's by Spider, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, so now, like, considering that this is just a file or a folder of doodles, like, I think you taped them all together very well.
Yeah, it did take effort because they're all different tempos and different keys. So if you do have doodles, do be sure to keep them, but you have to put in some work to make them fit together.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all have a scraps folder that we should probably revisit.
Yeah, just don't throw anything away. It's good for the
No,
environment.
no,
Recycle your scraps.
that's right. What is it about the power doodle that made your top 3?
I just love the sound of it. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, the build is great.
The build is great. Even the ending is great. It's
It's
like,
all great.
yeah, the bass at the end is like has like the overtones. The guitar just stops with like an extra jump, which don't know if we can ever redo that, but it just sounds cool. It's just
Very cool.
such a great song.
And then also at the end, you kind of pick back that melody or pick up that melody again to kind of complete the story.
Mm-hmm. Whatever the story is. Some people say like writers don't tell their stories. You have to make your own. I don't know. That seems like a cop out to me. It's like, commit. You have a story to tell. Tell your story.
I mean, I guess it's all up to the listener's interpretation.
It always is.
Yeah,
It always
so
is.
all right, we're gonna get into my picks now.
Yes.
We're on to I'm gonna start it out with Rough Power.
Mm-hmm.
That was Rough Power, another
Mhm.
one by Spider.
Yes, and you picked this one, but I would have picked it as well.
All right. Well,
So synergy.
yeah, I really like the progression that it starts out with,
Yes, it's a very good song.
and the sections and the chorus specifically. I don't know. There's just something about it that I was like, I really like how this changes, like the
It's just
just
pure
how
chip
it's
metal.
all.
It's
What's
just
that?
it's pure chip metal. It's chips in the metal.
And I also picked it because it was interesting to talk about. Part of this song came out of a mistake.
Well, there were mistakes in it, I think.
Let's see. Laziness breeds creativity.
That's true.
I pivoted the song around an error that you made.
Yeah, it's like one wrong chord. So you just play a
Yeah,
wrong chord on the guitar. And so I think what the mistake was is like in one part of the verses, there was a different chord being played.
and you
So
just ran with it.
yeah, just change the chords being played there, and now it works again.
And I almost wonder if that mistake is kind of why I picked this one, because it was like a different progression that was like, oh, that's interesting, but I like it.
Maybe.
Similar to how you know when you're making when you're making it, you were like, I like that. I'm just gonna
Oh,
roll
we're
with
both
it.
composers, so we can investigate that.
And I mentioned this one earlier. This is the another one where you kind of talked about your this is how we make a chorus now system,
Yes, I think it's the same one.
and it's
The same
it's the
system.
same program.
Yes, I think so. Because it's the week afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Like, power temp is just 31, and so this is 32. It checks out. Yeah.
Cool, yeah. I didn't know if there's anything more about that system, but I liked that you I always like when people talk about the systems and workflows that help them create,
It's all
because
shortcuts. It's just all shortcuts.
yeah, and I feel like I'm still trying to figure them out, but that
Well,
was
you're new to this, I guess. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it was my first year, the most songs that I've ever made in my
yeah,
entire life.
exactly. Like, that's what
So, I
weekly
think that's
beats
why
will help
that
with.
what's that?
That's what weekly beats will help with. It's like finding
Yes.
shortcuts into making music that is yours.
Yes. Just like making a podcast. Where are the shortcuts?
Hmm.
All right, we're going to keep it going with my second pick, Power Slip.
Yes.
All right, that was Power Slip
Hmm.
by Ebrit.
Yes.
And in the description, you say this one involves a slide.
Yeah, you can hear it. It's totally there.
Yeah, but it's not Power Slide. That's a different song.
That's yeah.
I picked this one because it's just like chiptune metal from the beginning, and I really like the transition to the chorus, or like switching from the verse to the chorus, just the difference in those sections.
Yeah, I guess difference is in itself a transition.
Yeah. Is this another formulaic built?
I don't think so. It's week 30, so it was the week before then.
All right. So this is straight up Ebrit.
Yeah, it was just playing instruments, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great song. You talked about that your wrist hurt from playing the
16ths, yeah.
yeah.
And you can hear the 16ths, and
Uh-huh.
it's not good for your wrist.
Yeah. Any other tidbits from the making of this?
I don't think so. Like, it's one of those before the generator was used, so we just, we have the idea that the structure is still going to be important. So we just use the structure that we put in the generator. We just didn't use the generator yet.
Okay. So the generator was like in the works at this point in
No, it was
time.
already ready. We just didn't use it. It's like we wanted the
Okay.
first half to just be us and
Okay.
not generator.
So you had the generator, but you made a conscious choice of like, all right, the first half of the year, I'm gonna
Yeah,
not use it.
yeah. Just put some effort into it. See what comes out. See what sounds good.
Cool.
And then we just collaborated with ourselves, basically.
Yeah. Looking back at that first half of the year without the generator and the second half of the year, are there which do you prefer?
I mean, they both had strengths. Just at some point, we were just bored of not doing that or doing that. So we just introduced a new variable, which is the generator. I mean, we already planned to do that. 22. It's like, well, we want to do a collab with ourselves with the generator, and now we could because we had an amp because we had the guitar already. Guitar
Okay.
was already there. We just didn't have an amp.
And when you talk about the generator being a collab with yourself, is that like one of your personalities helped build it and then another one is like making songs with it sort of collab?
That's kind of a tricky one because we didn't have DID be expressed yet back then.
When
So
you
it
built
was,
the generator.
yeah, so it was just one person back then.
Ah, very interesting.
Yeah, very
And
weird.
what makes it kind of feel like a what makes the generator feel like a collab now?
Well, someone made a part of a song that wasn't us, and then we worked together with that part to make something complete.
Ah, I got it.
Because the electric guitar doesn't come out of the generator.
Mhm.
It's just not there. It's like jump on
Mhm.
it, and there will not be a guitar track.
Yeah,
So we just put that in there ourselves.
got it. I see now. That's very cool. All right, we're going to move on to Power Spring
Mm-hmm.
and doing things slightly different this show. Normally we take the last song and
Talk
play out
about
the
it.
episode,
Yeah.
but we're going to play this one, come back and talk about it, and then play out the episode with your remix of one of my
It's a
tunes.
little trick to make you talk about your own music.
Oh man.
Because I know one person was like, "Well, I wanted to talk about your music as well," but this is how you get them to do it.
All right.
Just make a remix. All right,
Here we go with
Power
Power
Spring.
Spring. All right, that was Power Spring
Yeah,
by
you
Ebrit.
bet. Yeah,
When I was going through your songs, this one really stuck out to me as being just a little bit of a different flavor from a lot of your other songs.
yeah. It's more chip tune, and the guitar does things other than power chords, I guess.
Well, and it's very happy,
Well,
hopeful.
that's just chords. Like, if you stick to the major key, you get a happy song.
Right.
Because most of
But
the songs are in Dorian, so they get an adventurous feel to it. But sometimes you just like major key. Hmm.
and I know you're using a generator for a lot of this stuff. Or maybe not this song because
No, no, definitely
this
not.
was
This is
early
one.
in the year.
Yeah, I mean it's Power Spring, so it's spring. That's it.
Yeah, it's Power Spring. And I think the name and the feeling of the song that you're just boiling down to just a bunch of chords. Also, while it's snowing outside here for me, makes me hopeful for spring, even though this was written a spring ago. But I felt like it captured a different part of the range of your songs.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Because if you don't use power chords for a thing, but it's mostly power chords, then
Mhm.
you get something else. You get
Yeah.
something slightly different. Though
Yeah.
it's still chip metal,
Yeah.
which I guess
Still
was
chip metal.
yeah, it's the last talking point we had. It's like people are very impressed every week that we make chip metal, but is it? We just do it every week, and we're not even the only one who are doing it. It's like there's Anamanaguchi, there's Machine Supremacy, and those are just the people who aren't doing the weekly beats. There's Pieces of Eight who was doing it at one point, past years, and there's Low Music who's still doing it this year.
Yeah.
So chip metal is a thing,
Well, I mean, it's your thing.
I guess. Well, the chip metal I make is my thing.
Yeah.
The chip
Yeah.
metal we make is our thing. But that's not the only chip metal in existence.
No. But I something about the song, I was just like, I really like the feeling that it gives me.
Hope.
Hope, spring,
Power spring.
power spring.
It's just spring. That's the bit.
So yeah, that's why I picked it, and I really like it.
Yeah, I like it too. They did great. And it was all it's because no one else picked it up apparently. It was just a doodle at some point, and then it was worked out.
Nice.
That's how we worked then. It's like we just did the song, and then we played some more guitar afterwards, make something for next week, maybe, maybe not, and then we would switch, and that person wouldn't use that at all for some reason or another.
Yeah. Or sometimes they would.
Sometimes, well, usually not, because it would be considered as their thing. So if they had an idea, um, maybe we wanted something of our own.
But you do talk about at times using someone else's pieces or picking up where they left off.
Yeah,
So it happens occasionally.
that was usually midweek when we already had something going, and we might as well finish it at that point.
Got it.
We can have our own thing added to it.
Do you feel like there's a two people work better together, like when you're picking up someone else's work to finish it?
Um, I don't know. I think the end result would just be different, but it wouldn't necessarily be better.
Yeah.
So
But there's not like an instance where you're like, oh,
we can try that
Ebrit.
maybe next year when we just make like a theme where someone makes a theme and then we all pick it up and see what we can do with it.
Oh, okay. That's
We
interesting.
could
That would be
try that
cool. Yeah, that would be
maybe
cool.
like in 1 quarter because we like to think of weekly beats as 4 quarters. We do
Yeah,
one specific thing for a quarter and then you change something slightly and then you see what happens then.
yeah.
So it's not as repetitive, but it's still your thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, should we talk about
Yes.
this collab?
Yeah. That's the song, not the
One-sided collab.
podcast.
Well, we're gonna play it out at the end, but
Yes.
I was curious. So the song that you remade was uh mine called Missing Bunny.
Yes. Missing Buddy.
Essentially, you used one section of my song kind of as like almost like a chorus section.
Yes, exactly that.
How did you come up with the other sections to kind of like make it all fit together?
And that was just a generator. It's like,
Oh, no way.
we just ran a generator, or I just ran a generator. It was like a few hours ago. So I just ran a generator and just removed the chorus and just put your bit in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
It's almost as if
It
making
feels
music
like it
is very
works.
simple.
It feels like it works so well that I wouldn't think that a generator would be helpful. Like when I think about using a generator, I think like also having never used one nor dice. It feels like hard to just like stick the two pieces together and have it work.
Well, it does help to have a view of what you want your structure to be. And like think of generator or algorithms to pick whatever next note is supposed to be there, which doesn't really work very well. So that's the thing that we have to keep changing.
Okay. So there's a little bit more to it than what you're like at first glance. Like you're
Yeah.
sort of like flippantly like, "Oh, I just throw it in the generator." But like you're doing some massaging after the fact to
Oh
like
yeah.
make it
I
all
mean, I
work.
already said that I was doing that because otherwise it wouldn't be a human generator. right? Would be what you
Yeah,
made.
yeah. You're giving a lot of credit to the generator when I think a lot should be given to you, is what I'm saying.
You'd be surprised how much the generator actually helps, though. It's so helpful. Just to have a project file you can open and already have like a lot of things there, just helps.
Yeah,
Just the instruments are already there. They're just rough. Just need a little polishing.
and then
The
you're
notes are
tweaking.
there, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the note lengths are there, and there's like the dynamics of the notes, which you might not even notice, but all the notes have a different volume as well.
right. And you're doing all that after
No,
the fact.
that's
Oh, that's with the
that's all the
generator.
generator. So it's just
But
a little polishing,
you're changing the sounds, and you're maybe
changing the
changing.
sounds, changing a few notes around here and there. Definitely
Got
the
it.
lengths, because you know when you use random number generators, it sometimes just happens you get a number 3 times in a row,
Yeah.
and that's just not necessarily what the song needs. So you just kind
Hmm.
of change that.
You're you're adding the artistic side to it.
Yeah, a little human touch.
Yeah, just a little sprinkle.
But by all means, check it out. Just need Python, you can generate it right there.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna have to do some generator songs. Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, you cannot import it into M8. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I can make it for the M8, but I need to know what the project structure of an M8 song would look like.
Tim, we need your help.
I'm sure there's documentation somewhere.
I'm sure.
I just don't really care. It's like if I wanted to do something, it would be for Reaper, because
Mm,
that's also a DAW that uses a file format that is human readable to some
yeah.
extent. So
Well, this takes us to the end of the show.
yes, again,
I really loved that you brought some talking points for me.
yes, we've been hoarding them for a while now
That's awesome.
because we've still been
Did
waiting
we
on the call.
did we cover most of them?
I think we got pretty much all of them. It's like I don't think we've covered the name that we have in too detail, because we have 6 names and not all of them have been mentioned.
Do you want to mention them?
Well, sure. In order, they were just Devious, Everett, Spider, Liga. I don't think I made a song per se. Me, Ryo, and Valks.
Yeah, Liga, I know, had some mentions that
Yes,
they maybe started some things that
one
got
song.
picked up.
I think, yeah, I think one song specifically, maybe a few other songs just wouldn't want to be mentioned, but she's getting better. That was
What what do you think she's improving on?
existing.
Existing?
Yeah, it's just one of those things that like existing is like a whole thing about the ID. It's like
Yeah,
my sense of identity.
that's fascinating.
It's like who am
Well,
I? Who am I really?
yeah, I mean, we could have a whole show on that because it's fascinating,
Hmm.
interesting, and you know, your unique experience moving through this world.
Yes, Orange Drink gave us in 2022 the award for the best band, which
I
is just
love it.
adorable.
I mean, this is, I guess, kind of like a group podcast interview. So,
Yeah, the first one. Maybe there
yeah.
can be others. I know there's like a mother and child. They didn't do songs together, but
Oh, okay.
you know, there's also 2 brothers, Neon Liminal and Barrister Plong.
Mm, I
So
didn't
maybe we can get
realize
them
that.
on a single episode. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks again for putting up with my trying to say
Evasions.
evasions. Yeah, that's a really good word. Where I was like, no, we should wait because like I'm gonna get my shit together
Mm-hmm.
and make a new
Yeah.
song. Like
You also
it's
said
gonna
like I
happen.
was out of people to interview, and was like, "Are you
Like,
though?"
hello, me. I'm like, I know, but this is contingent on me doing extra stuff
And
on
then it
top
turns
of
out it
this.
wasn't, because we had to put some effort into it, but that's okay. I'm glad to do it.
But yes,
And also,
thank
like,
you.
some people would rather not be interviewed. So it's like some of us are not very comfortable with their voice.
True,
So
true.
and also happen. It's also contingent on that a bit,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is a problem. We are working on it, but it's part of the diagnosis. So
So we hit it right. We timed it right. Um,
well, a few weeks ago would have been good too, because Valix is also very vocal. So
okay. Well, it was great to meet you, talk more about your songs, your process.
mm-hmm.
And again, like I said at the very top of this, thank you so much for all the commenting and listening you do. It
Mm-hmm.
means a lot to me. It means a lot to everyone else that receives a comment from
Of
you.
course,
And
everyone deserves a comment.
thank you for bringing the bird sound into the world.
Yeah, they're also part of the generator too, by the way. So if you want them,
Well,
you can have them.
see, like I said, you give so much power to the generator, but you are the artist that like releases these things into the
I
world.
mean, you'd be
So
surprised because the birds are actually not touched at all.
don't don't ruin the specialness of the birds.
Honestly,
They are pure art.
some
Leave
weeks
them
we're
at
just kind of sick of them ourselves, but people just love them, and it's like, sure, why not?
put a bird on it.
Not burning it. And
All right.
1 week they were muted accidentally, and was like, where are they?
We're gonna play it on out
Yeah,
with
your song or our
Power
song.
Bunny. I loved it. I hope all of you guys do too. And go check out more of Ryo's music
Also, check
and
out Violet, please. Check it all.
Violet.
Check out all of Max's music.
Got it.
I mean,
Go do
I
it.
can name a bunch of other people you should check out, but
All right. Well, thanks again, man.
yeah,
Have
thank
a
you
good one.
for finally having us.
You're welcome. All right.
All right.